Beautiful, isn't it? That's the whole point of the gradebook. I'll show you how this one formula grades an entire class in seconds. Look, I used to spend hours until I built this gradebook that literally grades itself. I'll give you a free copy at the end. Let me show you how this works. There's really two versions of this. I graded test paper, okay, like this, and you've marked it up, you've tallied up all the marks, and now you want to give a grade based on a grade boundary. This is Pearson's own, like Pearson Edexcel. This is the grade boundaries for the GCSEs June 2025. I'm just going to go here and check a math one here real quick. Control find math. This is the grade boundary for math. It's out of, these are marks, okay, and this is out of 240 because there's paper 1, paper 2, and then paper 3. Of course, in your departments doing a unit test, this may change, and this is the beauty of this gradebook, because as you change your grades and you standardize, it will automatically change the grades for the students. And I can track students like this using a traffic light. Step 1 is I'm going to grab this, and imagine this is like unit 4, okay? So I want to go ahead and copy and paste this for unit 4. Let's go ahead and resize this. We'll resize to 50. This is a grade boundary that I've got for math. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. So in this particular test, maybe this was a high level math paper, and you can see here it starts from level 3, okay, and goes up to level 9. 1 and 2 unfortunately don't cut it here, so I'm going to go ahead and add these in. I think I've already done this, by the way. The marks, so I've just added in these marks here. Imagine these were blanks and I've just added these in from my grade boundary. So in this case, I've got 36 and so on. Now, where do I get these percentages from? These are percentages based on the marks. I'm just going to quickly show you how to do that. So let me just delete these. This is how the percentages worked out here. It's saying what is 36 out of 240? Relatively easy to do. Just do equals, and then I can go ahead and do 36 out of divided by 240. Okay, and then I can make that into a percentage. So I can say times 100, and that's going to give me 15%. Just look at the formula. This R25 should be an absolute cell reference, because that R25 doesn't change. That 240 is not going to change. So I can very quickly, I can just press FN and F4, and that's going to give me my absolute cell reference. Now, if you don't know where the FN key is on your keyboard, doesn't matter. Just add these dollar signs to the R and the 25, and then that will give me an absolute cell reference. So as I change this now, if I drag this across, it will give me my percentages of all of these marks. All right, so 217 marks out of 240 is 90%, and that works it out automatically. We're basing our assessment on marks. So for example, this, I've got 45 marks, this student's got 45 marks. This will automatically give me the grade that I should associate to this. What's beautiful about this is I don't need to keep going back and changing it if I need to moderate the paper. Let's assume these are the marks that the students got. All right, this percentage, I'll show you how the percentage is. Obviously you just manually put these in, and then this will automatically just grade this, yeah? So what is 45 as a percentage of 240? All right, that's what we're basically working at. Same thing as what we just done before, isn't it? So here the percentage is equals, what is 45 out of this 240? That 240 doesn't change. Again, I'm gonna do an absolute cell reference. You don't need to remember any of this, because you can download this gradebook from the comments. And then I'm gonna times that by 100. That's gonna give me a percentage. It says, do you wanna autofill it? Yeah, I'll autofill that. So now I've got it for all of this. I don't need the percentage score. I might just want it for reference. This is where the magic happens. The beauty of the gradebook is it's going to automatically associate the grade according to the marks. So this is how you do it. You do a VLOOKUP, so equals VLOOKUP. And then what do we want to look up? Well, we want to reference this. Okay, so the points that they've got, comma, and then I want my grade boundary. Now remember, look, there was no level 1 and level 2. Unfortunately, this high tier paper starts from a level 3. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight that. This grade boundary doesn't change for this test. So I'm going to make sure I do my FN key and my F4 to give an absolute cell reference. And then I want it to look in, so return from column 2. So when I'm looking at my grade boundary, column 1 is obviously the marks, and then column 2 will be the grade. So I want it to look in column 2 and return if it's true, yeah? Brilliant. So it's already giving me this grade. I knew it was a 3 anyway. So I can drag this all the way down, and that will give me all of my grades, okay? Now I've gone one step ahead. I'm gonna show you how to do this again. I'm just gonna, 1 second, conditional formatting. Let me get rid of these. I'll show you how I got these in a minute. So there's no color coding here, yeah? Now the issue that I have with this is there's an NA. Why is there an NA? All right, this student got 34 marks. You can see 36 was the minimum grade, yeah? So 34 is unfortunately no grade. It should be a 0. The problem with the VLOOKUP is if you do a VLOOKUP, it basically returns an error, okay, if it's outside of the range. Now obviously 34 is outside of this range, so it's going to give me this error message. The way to fix that is actually relatively easy. All you need to do is we'll add an if error, okay, and put brackets there. If error, we want it to return like a 0, okay, we'll close that out, boom. So if there's an error, and in fact we might as well drag that for this whole column, so that if any of these students score below 36, let's say for example this student here scored below 36, so I've got a 32, you see it automatically adjusts this now, which is beautiful, isn't it? That's the whole point of the gradebook. I want there to be some traffic light like this one here. You can see, look, oh look, there's got some reds here, we've got greens, so I want this to be traffic lighted as well. Before I get to that though, I just want to really quickly do some average, and it will suggest to you, hey, do you want to average P3 to P20? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and average that. I'll do the same thing for this one here. That's all great. I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of this, and then I'm going to go to format, conditional formatting, and here I'm going to do a color scale. All right, I'm going to change this default from red to green. Minimum that you should be able to get here is only a 3. 3 is a minimum, so minimum value is going to be a 3. My maximum, according to this grade boundary, is a 9, so the maximum number is going to be 9. Yeah, correct. And then the percentile, I'm just going to put that as a number as well. You can decide what your median point is, your midpoint is. From a 3 to a 9, I think 5 is reasonable. Yeah, and I'm going to make that yellow. So that's going to give me a scale, a color scale, traffic light, yeah, from red, amber, and green. And I'm going to go ahead and press done. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to highlight that selection, add a new rule, and I'm going to say if the text contains 0, I want it to be red. I really want this to pop bold and maybe make it white text. Okay, we've got our traffic light. We know the average grade is a 5. Our traffic light, one student got a 9. Well done. Student number 6 got a 9. So that's brilliant. And then, oh, we've got a 6 there. And then everything else, you know, like a 3. We can see the traffic light straight away, yeah, which is brilliant. So that works really super well. And this is based on marks, okay, based on marks, not on a percentage grade, based on the marks. So go ahead and like start using this for yourself. The beauty of this is, look, I can change the grade boundary, okay, I can change the grade boundary, and then that will automatically change everything else in this system as well. So if I say, you know what, actually, to get a 3, let's say 30 marks. Automatically those zeros now, 34 marks is a 3, 32 is a 3. So look, I've only changed the marks, and what it's done for me is it's updated the whole grading for the students. So this is going to save you tons of time when you're moderating and standardizing your assessment paper. So that works perfectly for an assessment paper where you're doing the marks. What about a percentage score? Let me explain why, yeah? This is the percentage grade boundaries for the IB Math AA. So 73% out of 100 will give you a level 7 based on paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and the exploration. Let's take these grade boundaries and let's go ahead and use these percentage boundaries. Now this time, what's going to happen is these are percentage boundaries, yeah? I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this, and you'll see how it will affect this, yeah? So these are percentages. So 0 to 11 is a level 1, 12 to 23 is a level 2, 24, 34, 48. Basically, when you grade this, you're going to grade out of marks anyway. But the IB grade boundaries are based out of percentages. So I only have percentage to go from, yeah? I can put those percentage scores in. So you know the IB papers, paper 1, paper 2, they're both out of 110. This paper that we've assessed is out of 100 marks. Obviously, you can change this as you do your assessment papers. I want to know how many marks is 0%. Obviously, 0% is 0 marks. That's a no-brainer. But then what is 12% of 110? So I can go ahead and just do that as a calculation. I can do equals whatever this is, and remember that doesn't change. I want to give it absolute cell reference times this as a percentage. All right, that percentage. And we'll autofill this. So basically 13 marks out of 110 is 12%. 26 marks out of 110 is 24%, and so on and so forth. All right. So how does this work then? Well, this is the same anyway. These are my scores that the students have got, and then these are the percentages is same as well. It's like, how do I work out 34%? So basically this 34 divided by 110 absolute cell reference, okay, times 100. Of course, it works exactly the same way as it does for the GCSE marks, the IB percentage. Again, anyway, you're just going to put the percentage mark in here, and it's going to calculate the grades based on this grade boundary. Now I can just quickly just check this one. If error is still there, excellent. And this reference, the reference is correct. True, otherwise 0. Yeah, perfect. So once you've moderated this across your department and you're like, look man, the average is a level 4, we need to adjust the boundaries. Let's go ahead and adjust these boundaries seem, you know, level 1, 2 and 3 seem fine, but then these boundaries seem a bit tough for the end. You can adjust these if you like. Okay, you can adjust all of this. So we can say 20%. And as you adjust this boundary now, okay, you can start seeing that my grades are going to be changing. All right, where is this? Let's just say that's 60. Wow, look at that. I've got all these 7s. Fantastic. That's basically it in a nutshell. The beauty of this is once you start using it, you start tracking. This becomes a brilliant tracking tool and a very strong data point as well. So you can go ahead and use your grade boundaries. It's very flexible. I would say download it, start using it as your grade book, share it with a colleague. Catch you in the next one.